Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a hypnosis session that I was working on for a gentleman called Brad, who has requested a 20-minute audio download specifically to deal with portion control, stress eating, snacking, unhealthy eating, those kinds of things. So in this session, I'm going to do two key things. One, activate the perception of choice, because the key thing is when people get into the habit of making certain choices, so eating too much, for example, which is the opposite of portion control, or snacking on junk food, there is a perception that that is just a habit and there is no choice. Generally speaking, what needs to happen is what's called a pattern interrupt. So something that takes place immediately either before or during the habit, so that the habit can't really be on autopilot. So in this hypnosis session, you're going to hear me do a hypnosis session that enables him to create more choices and to know what those choices are. And generally, I find the number 3 a very, very useful number in terms of memory and mnemonics. The moment that you don't perceive you have any choice at all, then that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And effectively, you just do what you're going to do on autopilot. And if you have two choices, that creates the perception of a dilemma. Do you do this or do you do that? The moment that you introduce a third option, that actually creates a perception of, well, there's lots of choices here, and therefore there tends to be a bit more of a discerning attitude to choose the best choice of the 3. Whereas it can be the case that if there's just 2 choices, it can be a case of the lesser of 2 evils. So in this particular hypnosis session, you'll hear me working on a session specifically for healthy eating, but using the principles of choice and a pattern interrupt. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a feeling of calm and relaxation. That's right. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation and enabling your body to exhale any stress, any tension in the outward breath. That's right. Deeper and deeper, relaxed, with each and every outward breath. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a place that represents the opposite of stress. Perhaps this place is a relaxing place, maybe a place of tranquility, just a place far away from any of the normal thoughts and activities that you relate to stress. And I want you to imagine being in this place now. Get a sense of your surroundings, because I don't know if you're going to be indoors or outdoors, if the weather is sunny and warm, or perhaps just mild. But I want you to get a sense of all of your senses around you. Pay attention to being in this place and notice what you see. I want you to get a sense of anything that you can hear. Maybe there are sensations like a cool breeze, or perhaps just the feeling of clothes on your skin. I want you to get a sense that you're also paying attention to any smells, even if the smells are just the smells of nature around you, or perhaps the smells of something else, perhaps trees, just the freshness of clean, fresh air. And I want you to imagine, whether you're indoors or outdoors, that there is the most comfortable chair that you've ever seen. I want you to imagine climbing onto that chair, feeling your whole body sink and relax into that chair as you continue to pay attention to your breath, breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation and exhaling tension on the outward breath. That's right. Deeper and deeper, relaxed. And it's not that relaxation is necessary for a deep hypnotic trance. Just that if you are going to go inwards, then why not relax and enjoy that process? So shortly, I will count down from 10 to 1. And you will imagine that as your body goes deeper and deeper relaxed, your attention inwards to thoughts and ideas increases. As your body relaxes, your mind concentrates. That's right, 10. Paying attention to any muscles around your eyelids and eyes. That's it. Enabling the muscle tension to release now. That's it. Deeper and deeper, relaxed. 9. Focusing now on the muscles in your forehead and around your jaw. That's it. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, taking you deeper and deeper, relax now. That's it. 8. Paying attention now to your neck and your shoulders. That's it. Breathing in a warm feeling, a sensation of relaxation. Paying attention to any tension and releasing that tension on the outward breath. That's right. Deeper and deeper. Relax now. And then 7, paying attention to any feelings of tension around the length of your arm all the way to the tips of your fingers. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation and exhaling all of that tension, enabling it to leave your body. That's right. 6, focusing inwards now. As you breathe in that resourceful feeling, imagine your internal organs are starting to relax. Your lungs relax. Now, that's it. Your heart relaxes. Now, that's it. Your stomach, your gut, all relax. Now, all the way deep down to your diaphragm. 5, deeper and deeper relaxed. Because you can choose to breathe from your chest, or you can choose to breathe deeper and deeper down, right down to your diaphragm. That's right. And 4, feeling that feeling of relaxation now go down past your diaphragm into your gut. And I want you to get a sense that your gut, your intestines are starting to loosen and relax. That's it. Because sometimes people get so tense in their guts that it feels anxious, stressful, full of an uncertainty. And as you relax those muscles, just enable your whole body to relax now. That's it. Going deeper now into your legs. 4 and 3. That's it. All the way down your legs, right down to the tips of your toes. 2 and 1. And I want you to imagine what it would be like to fall asleep in that chair, in that relaxing place for you. And let's do that now. As your eyelids almost superglued shut. That's right. 1, 0. Deeper and deeper. Relaxed. So relaxed that you can do what we all do with our eyes closed in a deep, deep feeling of relaxation. And that is that your imagination becomes more active now. That's it, much more active. So active, in fact, that you can imagine what it would be like to be in your own home, your own workplace, doing your normal routines. And I want you to imagine that 2 key things are different now. 1 is that you will introduce a new way of interrupting old habits. And the way that you'll do that is simply by choosing to have a single glass of water. And I want you to go about your day in the normal way that you would. And then, at the point that you would normally eat out of stress, instead of going straight for the food, I want you to imagine that you are choosing to interrupt your pattern by having a single glass of water. And I want you to imagine lifting that glass of water, taking it to your lips, feeling how amazing this sensation of water as you drink it feels. Imagine how amazing it would be to have a single glass of water if you hadn't drunk anything for a week. I want you to get a sense of how amazing, how refreshing, how rejuvenating this water feels as you imagine drinking the water, slowly but deliberately, getting a sense of all of the positive qualities that you are getting for yourself by drinking this water. And then, after you've drunk the water, I want you to introduce 3 different options. You can choose to continue what you are going to do anyway and eat out of stress. But also, I want you to think of one alternative thing that you could do that may also reduce stress. Maybe it's just going for a short walk. Maybe focusing on your breathing, because when people get stressed, they breathe from the chest. And if you slow down your breathing and breathe deep down from your diaphragm, you might be surprised to learn that your stress just melts away. Or you may have alternative choices. But I want you to get into this mental rehearsal that when you have a desire to eat out of stress, you will first drink a glass of water and then consider 3 different choices, and one of those choices is to do exactly what you were going to do anyway. And notice how difficult it is to make that choice when you realize that you have a choice. When you have that choice, it's so much easier to choose to do something else than if there feels like there's no choice at all. I want you to imagine continuing with your day, and perhaps it's mealtime. And I want you to get a sense of the size of the meal in front of you. But before you start that meal, I want you to imagine drinking just 1 glass of water first. That water feels so refreshing, like it's the best thing ever. And as you drink that water, it has a taste that you haven't detected before, that makes you enjoy it even more. And then, the moment that you put the glass back down, I want you to consider 3 different choices. And you could eat way beyond what your body needs. You could have a very large portion, and that could become choice number 1. You could perhaps have a second choice of eating maybe just half or 2/3 of what's on your plate, enough so that you have a feeling that you've had a proper meal. And the third option could be that you only have sufficient so that when you finish, there is still a slight feeling of hunger. That's right. And if when you finish whatever you've decided, if you are thinking of eating more, I want you to, again, have 1 glass of water first, to then realize that you have 3 choices to make. You can choose to eat more, eat a little bit more, or eat no more at all. And I want you to get a sense that choice equals freedom. And if there are no choices, you are a slave to your habits and routines, and you are operating almost like a robot from historical programming. Therefore, every time you drink that glass of water and entertain 3 different choices, you are becoming human again, enabling yourself to make the best choice for your needs right now. And I want you to think about a different time in the day when perhaps you would have a snack. The moment that an idea of a snack enters your mind, I'd like you to have that 1 glass of water, just a glass. It takes seconds to pour and just under a minute to drink, and yet will give you thinking time to consider 3 different choices. You could choose to have that very snack that you were thinking of, and that's a choice. Or you could choose an alternative, healthy snack, perhaps a piece of fruit, or maybe something else. And the third choice could be choosing to do something else. Because quite often, people snack not because they have a need for more energy. Quite often, people snack because they're bored and just want something to do. So what if the third choice wasn't food at all, but just something to stimulate your mind, to give you something to do? And notice that when you have those 3 choices following that delicious glass of water, it becomes very difficult to make the original choice. In the same way that if you were on a game show and you won 1 prize, but you could swap it for 2 different, better prizes, it would be very difficult to choose your original choice. And then continue, perhaps to a different day, a different time in the week, where you are planning on eating unhealthy food. Whatever your definition of unhealthy food is exactly the right definition. But before you eat that unhealthy food, just have 1 glass of water and use the time while you're drinking that glass of water to consider 3 different options. And the first option will be to eat the very unhealthy food that you were considering. And then perhaps the second choice is to eat a small bit of that unhealthy food, but not too much. And maybe the third choice is to replace that unhealthy food with something that you would consider healthy, but also enjoyable. Because sometimes there is a false belief that unhealthy food is always tasty and delicious, and healthy food is always disgusting. But right now, you can think of at least 3 different healthy foods that are delicious to you. Maybe it's a piece of fruit. Maybe your favorite meal, but you know it's healthy. Or maybe something else. But just realize that you have all of these choices. And I want you to think of one time in your life where you made a choice that you were really happy with. And for it to be a choice, you had to have other options. But you knew that the option that you chose was the very best option. And I want you to scan your body for where that good feeling of making a great choice exists for you. Maybe it's in your heart, your head, your gut. But just scan your body for where that feeling is when you make a great choice. And from this point onwards, when you have that glass of water before making a choice, hone in on that sensation, that feeling of what it feels like to make a great choice. Because the difference between a great choice, an average choice, and a bad choice tends to be how we feel about it later. A great choice feels good in the moment and also feels good when you think back to that choice later. Whereas a bad choice can sometimes feel good in the moment, but then feel like something you regret when you look back on it. And you already know how to make great choices. But by drinking just one glass of water, you're breaking historical habits and patterns, giving you the thinking time to do what you're already great at, making choices. And then realize that you're not in your home, around your kitchen perhaps. There you are on a chair in a relaxing place. And then as you get up out of that chair, get a sense that something has changed. You have the ability to make great choices again. Choices that feel good in the moment and will reward you in the weeks, months, and years that follow. And then realize this is just a thought within a thought, a dream within a dream, and actually you are right there in the present, listening to my voice right now. And very shortly, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken with a sense of optimism, a sense that you have freedom again, that you are no longer a slave to those historical habits, and that by drinking water, you get to break those old patterns and introduce new, healthy choices. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.